Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we'll delve into the transformative insights of Brave by Margie Warrell. This engaging book uncovers the steps one can take to cultivate a braver approach to life. Warrell dismantles the social interactions and norms that often hinder us from acting with courage and confronts the fears that prevent people from reaching their full potential. Brave is not just a guide. It's an arsenal of tools for anyone wishing to step out of their comfort zone, tackle challenges head-on, and truly thrive. With practical advice and strategies, this book is a beacon for the timid, a helping hand for employees feeling stuck in their professional lives, and an enlightening resource for life coaches and mentors looking to empower others. Margie Warrell, the insightful author behind Brave, is an expert in facilitating behavioral courses in communication for a diverse range of companies and institutions, including prestigious names such as NASA, the UN Foundation, and AOL. Warrell also shares her wisdom through media outlets like the Huffington Post and Forbes, making her guidance accessible to a wide audience. Join us as we explore how Brave can help you unlock your latent courage and guide you towards a life filled with more deliberate and bold choices. Whether you seek personal growth or professional advancement, Warrell's Brave promises to be a valuable companion on your journey to a braver you. Brave. 50 everyday acts of courage to thrive in work, love, and life. Introduction. Discover your inner courage and transform your life. Imagine stepping onto center stage, your heart pounding as the spotlight hits your face. This is your moment, the one you've been fearing and fantasizing about in equal measure. Now, translate that visceral moment into every facet of your life where fear has erected barriers. What if the only thing standing between you and your grandest life is the courage to act? There's no grand mystery to overcoming fear. Often, it's about confronting the apprehension that holds us back from capitalizing on life's vast opportunities. Whether it's the fear of applying for that ideal job, launching a business, or diving into the tumultuous sea of romance, the absence of bravery means a trove of missed adventures. It's high time to break free from the shackles of trepidation and step into a world where courage reigns. Drawing inspiration from the insightful guidance of Margie Warrell in her exploration of bravery, we'll embark on a journey through 50 actionable ways to infuse courage into our daily existence. Through this exploration, you'll discover how societal norms can inhibit the boldness of young boys, and why breaking free from these constraints is liberating. The unexpected silver linings that adversity, such as a cancer diagnosis, can reveal about our personal strength, and the reasons why excessive modesty might hinder more than help, blocking the recognition you deserve. Each step toward bravery is a step toward seizing control of your destiny, one fearless decision at a time. Let's bid farewell to the days of the cowardly lion, embrace our inner fortitude, and transform our lives into the thrilling adventure we're meant to live. Part 1. Embrace challenges to cultivate your inner strength. Picture this. It's your child's 13th birthday, and they're yearning for an adrenaline rush, sky jumping no less. As a parent, it's natural to feel a wave of anxiety, yet when Ben, the son of the author, faced his own trepidation and leapt, he didn't just jump from a platform, he soared into a new chapter of personal growth. This poignant family anecdote touches on a universal truth. Confronting your fears fortifies your resolve. Think of it as a workout for your courage. The more you engage with fear, the more robust your bravery becomes. But don't worry. You don't need to make the sky your starting line. Building courage can begin with the simplest of actions. Are social interactions your nemesis? Invite a handful of friends for dinner? Do you dread being vulnerable? Share a personal story with someone close? These small victories can be the stepping stones to larger conquests of courage. It's about recognizing the moments where fear whispers in your ear, coaxing you into retreat. when you catch yourself sidestepping an opportunity due to apprehension of failure or rejection, note it down. This awareness is the first phase of your journey to an audacious life, incrementally stretching your limits, starting small and gradually escalating. Moreover, combating fear demands immediacy and pragmatism. Ponder the aspirations you could pursue in the coming months if you were equipped with an unshakable sense of bravery. Then, dissect the related fears to their core. Is it really public speaking that makes your skin crawl? Or is it the dread of scrutiny and the sting of possible failure? Now, shift gears and visualize a triumph. Consider the overwhelming satisfaction, the surge of pride, and the newfound confidence that would accompany a successful public presentation. This exercise in positive forecasting illuminates the rich rewards waiting just beyond the boundaries of your comfort zone, propelling you to act against the gravitational pull of fear. While positive visualization sets the stage for action, sometimes what we crave is the motivational spark from another's story. Let's delve into such a narrative next. Part 2. Stand out by being authentically. You meet Carly Findlay, a beacon of authenticity in a world often clouded by the fog of conformity. As a close friend of the author, Findlay's journey through life with ichthyosis, a condition that leaves her without eyebrows or eyelashes and with distinctively red skin, is nothing short of inspiring. Her once self-conscious teenage years have blossomed into a bold advocacy for embracing differences, for living unapologetically. Her narrative urges us to disentangle from the web of sameness spun by societal expectations. What is it that sets you apart? Is it your style, your desires, or perhaps aspects of your identity often kept under wraps? Granted, in certain places, one must tread carefully due to legal considerations, but in most scenarios, the fear of rejection is far outweighed by the embrace of authenticity. Indeed, the world is yearning for the genuine, the real, for individuals who dare to stride forth as themselves, unvarnished and proud. And there's more at stake than mere acceptance. Authenticity begets success and joy, fulfilling a deep-seated need for self-actualization. Consider the story through the eyes of a child, whose heart beats to a different drum than gender stereotypes might dictate. A boy with an ardor for fashion could, in pursuit of belonging, bury his passion, but at what cost? Suppressing who we truly are is akin to muffling the vibrant hues of our spirit. It's not about the outside gaze, the opinions that sound from every corner, holding up a mirror to our doubts. There's no triumph in parroting an identity far removed from our essence. That road is a mirage, leading only to discontent and exhaustion. True magnetic allure lies in self-acceptance, when we engage with the world in a manner that resonates with our inner truth. It's this natural expression that kindles warmth and admiration from those we meet. Stand tall in your uniqueness, let your light radiate, because in authenticity lies the path to genuine connections and a life rich with fulfillment. Part 3. Stand up and speak for your beliefs. Within the ranks of renowned international figures, Malala Yousafzai's story shines as a testament to unwavering courage. Born into the lush valleys of Pakistan, she championed the cause of girls' education, a stance that pitted her against the oppressive ideologies of the Taliban ruling her home region. Her dauntless spirit came at a great personal cost. A bullet aimed to silence her in 2012. Miraculously surviving the attack, she emerged even stronger, her voice echoing across the globe, earning her the Nobel Peace Prize. Malala's tale is a clarion call to all. Never quell the voice that clamors for justice, even when faced with peril. Your convictions are worth the potential risks that may ensue in their defense. Consider the vice grip fear holds over our tongues, the silence that blankets a room when consensus is mistaken for acquiescence. Haven't we all been haunted by the ghosts of words unsaid, by the regret of moments when silence prevailed over conviction? The ramifications of such silence are not trivial. They sear a mark of self-betrayal onto the core of our being. Fortunately, there's an antidote to this erosion of integrity: defining and expressing our core beliefs with unshaken clarity. Usually overlooked, the process of internal reflection is the stalwart foundation of advocacy. If you're unsettled by jokes that trivialize discrimination, delve deeper, investigate, understand, and articulate the aversion stitched within your conscience. Equip yourself with knowledge, books, articles, and conversations that drill into the bedrock of why equality is non-negotiable. This preparation is your arsenal for the battles, where words are your weapons. By committing to this introspection and education, you will find yourself poised and ready when the moment calls. Not just to speak, but to speak with impact, to stand for what is just and right. Part 4. The Art of Speaking Honestly and Tactfully. Picture a seasoned U.S. Army colonel, well-versed in the ways of war, transitioning to the bureaucratic battlefield of the Pentagon. Gone were the days when courage meant charging into combat. Instead, the colonel was now in a realm where valor was synonymous with voicing his true thoughts, even if that meant challenging his superiors. This shift demanded a wholly different breed of bravery: the courage to communicate authentically. It's a universal struggle to speak our minds, especially on matters that tap into the wellspring of our emotions. The specter of rejection looms large, casting a shadow of doubt that often silences our deepest truths. Consider the case of an employee who senses that her talents have gone unnoticed and promotions have slipped past her. Speaking up poses a risk. She risks exposing her vulnerabilities and potentially opening herself up to judgment. Yet bottling up her concerns brews a toxic concoction of bitterness and resentment. The solution might be simple: she must voice her inner dialogue, but the execution is anything but. To speak from the heart is not to unleash an emotional torrent without regard. There are, indeed, principles to adhere to. Firstly, it's pivotal to frame your speech as an expression of your viewpoint, not an immutable fact. Approach the conversation by sharing your experiences and emotions, taking care to leave space for the perspectives of others. Critical to the delicate balance of heartfelt communication is distinguishing between someone's actions and their character. Should our example employee lash out, declaring her overlooked promotions as unfair, it implies a judgment on her employer's character, a label that would taint all future interactions with a hue of injustice. To avoid such an impasse, focus the conversation on specific actions and circumstances rather than indicting the person themselves. This method of dialogue circumvents the pitfalls of personal attacks, allowing for a discourse that seeks resolution rather than assigning blame. By adopting this mindful approach to sharing your truth, speaking from the heart evolves from an act of vulnerability to one of constructive bravery. Part 5. The Balance of Humility and Self-Advocacy. The age-old adage praises modesty, yet in a world teeming with competition, perpetual humility can be akin to self-sabotage. The author's earlier years were steeped in humility on the family farm, yet this sensibility often fails to translate to the cutthroat environment of today's professional landscape. There's an undeniable need to champion one's own cause. Reticence in showcasing our abilities can lead to others, sometimes less equipped, seizing opportunities meant for us. Promoting oneself need not border on arrogance. It's about understanding and articulately presenting one's qualifications and achievements with poise and professionalism. Success in this realm is about keenly cultivating relationships and networks aligned with one's career goals. Consider the delicate craft of negotiating one's worth without tripping into the pitfalls of self-importance. It can feel uncomfortably bold to broadcast our capabilities, but there's a fine line between self-promotion and egotism. Striking that balance hinges on a pivotal shift, focusing not on what a job offers you, but on what you offer, the unique skills and perspectives you bring that enrich and elevate others. When your self-advocacy centers around contribution rather than personal gain, your narrative changes. It radiates less of a me-first mentality and more of a mutual benefit perspective. Freely expressing your strengths becomes a less daunting task when you position them as assets to the broader group. And let's not overlook the infectious nature of enthusiasm. Aligning yourself with a career that stokes the fires of your passion ensures that when you speak of your work, it's with a zeal that can sway the hearts and minds around you. It's this fervor that can tip the scales in your favor, enticing potential employers or collaborators to take a chance on you. True self-advocacy, therefore, is not merely about being loud, it's about being passionate, strategic, and considerate in equal measure. Part 6. Forge ahead, making decisions in uncertain times. Not so long ago, the career path for many was a linear track, comfortably predictable and stable. Fast forward to today, and the fabric of professional life has morphed into a tapestry interwoven with change, with an average person changing careers 6 times, a stark increase from a generation ago. This fluidity brings with it an undeniable truth. The future is a shapeshifter, eluding even the most astute predictions. Yesterday's top careers might fade into obscurity. Tomorrow's leading industries may not have even been conceived yet. Take the author and her husband, Andrew. In their youth, they meticulously plotted potential career moves and domestic arrangements, only to learn that the dice of destiny rolled in directions they could have never anticipated. They discovered the exercise of forecasting, with its infinite variables, was more akin to gazing into a crystal ball than actual planning. So, should we surrender to the whims of an unpredictable world? Absolutely not. Decisiveness, particularly when the road ahead is shrouded in mist, is an act of courage. It may defy our instincts, but consider this. The paralysis of indecision often exacts a heavier toll on our peace of mind than taking a stand, even if that stand later requires recalibration. When faced with choices, be they career opportunities or personal crossroads, engage with them thoughtfully, but don't let analysis turn into a quagmire. Comparing a new job offer with your current post, examine, deliberate, but don't let the scales tip into obsession. Ultimately, the leap must be taken, the choice made. There's no holy grail of decisions, no flawless path through the thicket of life. So spend energy wisely. Don't squander it in search of a perfection that doesn't exist. Embrace the decision you make, own it, and let the chips fall where they may. In this era of transformation, bravery isn't just about withstanding the storm, it's about setting sail in spite of it. Part 7. Strength in Vulnerability. The Courage to Seek Help. In the bustling city of Dallas, the author's friend Mona juggled a demanding career and motherhood, epitomizing self-reliance and resilience. However, a 2009 diagnosis of breast cancer thrust her into a role reversal, from giver to receiver of support. Grappling with her illness, Mona confronted a truth that many grapple with. Reaching out for help is not a concession of defeat, but a critical and courageous act. Mona's epiphany, feeling as if divinely guided, illuminated the fact that kindness is not a debt to be repaid, but a grace to be embraced. Her journey underscores a profound lesson. Seeking assistance, far from being a sign of weakness, is indicative of internal fortitude. Societal conditioning often falsely equates self-sufficiency with strength, creating a stigma around asking for help. Yet, it's in the very act of acknowledging vulnerability that true bravery is found. Pretense of invulnerability does little more than enforce a lonely facade. Moreover, reaching out knits us into the fabric of community, a testament to the human condition. It's through this interdependence that we derive not just aid but also the strength to stand taller and face challenges with courage. No person is an island, and embracing this interconnectedness throughout life fortifies us in more ways than we can imagine. So, shed the misconception that to ask is to falter. Recognize that in the bravery of asking, we access the collective resilience of our communities and reaffirm our own inherent courage. Part 8. Embrace grief to find healing. Death and loss are the dark threads woven into the tapestry of human existence. They touch everyone, not once, but repeatedly. The author herself knows this all too well, with the tragic loss of her brother, who ended his life following a battle with mental illness. In the suffocating grasp of such sorrow, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to search for distractions or shortcuts through the pain. It's a fork in the road where one might consider dulling the ache: alcohol, drugs, workaholism, or fleeting physical connections. These escapes offer momentary reprieve, but ultimately they cast long shadows over the path to true healing, anchoring us in denial rather than guiding us to acceptance. The truest act of courage in the face of loss isn't to close our eyes or harden our hearts, but to welcome our grief, embrace it fully with every fiber of our being. By confronting our pain head on, we begin the journey through it, not over, not under, but through, forging a pathway to understanding, acceptance, and eventually, release. While in the raw moments of heartache it may be difficult to imagine any semblance of positivity, there's an undeniable alchemy that occurs when we allow ourselves to fully feel our sadness. Take, for instance, cancer survivors who, in looking back, see their harrowing trials as some of the most defining and transformative of their life experiences. Their brush with mortality bestowed upon them a profound clarity on what truly matters, an unforeseen gift wrapped in misfortune. To confront the shadows of pain with openness is to appreciate life's light with a renewed vigor. The beauty in our days shines brightest when contrasted with the darkness we've dared to face. We began this journey with the thrill of skydiving, a metaphor for the physical embodiment of bravery. Yet, the spectrum of courage is vast and varied. It's found in the heart that dares to break open in grief, in the hand raised to ask for help, in the voice that trembles but does not falter to speak its truth. Bravery wears many faces. It's about parachuting into the unknown realms of our lives, as much as it is about standing still amidst the storm and saying, "I am here, I feel, I survive." Final summary. True bravery transcends the grandiose. It is deeply woven into the fabric of daily life. Its essence lies in the incremental steps we take beyond the realms of comfort, gently forging our courage muscles with each challenge faced. From the courage needed to voice our deepest truths to a loved one, to the audacity required to confront our own sorrows, bravery is not an attribute reserved for the extraordinary moments, but a quality accessible and necessary in the ordinary ones. Every act of openness, every instance where we choose vulnerability over silence, every decision that leads us down a path less predictable, these are the moments that flesh out a life lived bravely. It's in these personal triumphs that we find the keys to a more fulfilling, joyous existence. So cast aside the notion that bravery is beyond reach. It awaits in every choice that nudges us towards growth. Lean into the small acts of bravery and watch as they transform into the profound, guiding you to a life adorned with authenticity and happiness. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.